Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second section of the podcast. And this is where we get into the meat of this discussion, the Lok Sabha polls, the poll numbers across different states. And they always say the route to Delhi goes from UP. So that's where I'm going to start. What do you think is going to happen in UP this time?
At the start we mentioned it could be a boring election, and UP seems that way because, it's phenomenal, right? When you think of it. 2012, SAPA or SP won a majority, and won majority after a long time, and won convincingly in terms of the state elections. And after 2012, what has happened in UP is just, the high point for Hindutva, high point for nationalism, high point for the BJP's brand of politics, because it's been amazing. Like even Gujarat, if you recall, which is Modiji's home state, they had a slight slumber in 2017 when, there were a lot of Patidar agitation, Hardik Patel was making a lot of noises, and a lot of things were going on, where it was close. The difference between BJP and Congress wasn't that much, or the BJP won. Yeah. UP is a state where, you look at 2014, you look at 2017 state elections, 2019 Lok Sabha, incidentally with a combined opposition of BSP, SP, RLD, and, even Congress trying to play spoil sport. With that opposition, BJP got more than 50% votes. And then, of course, in 22, Yogi ji defended his mandate and won again with a reasonable mandate, 250 odd seats. So, UP is one state which, as much as MP, as much as Gujarat has become the BJP's, Gada, as they say. It's a proper BJP Gada right now.
Laboratory, yeah.
Laboratory and just stronghold, People identify with the party there.
So what do you think is going to happen with regards to BSP? Because its votes have been shrinking constantly. The party has been on a decline, and Mayawati has not been willing to form any alliance as well. So what kind of an impact do you think Mayawati will have now as a third player? Also, SP Congress has formed an alliance, right? And Congress is contesting in some of the urban seats. So if it's a direct fight with Mayawati shrinking, doesn't that make SP a lot stronger, the SP Congress alliance?
Yeah, so I think there are a lot of factors at play here. UP mein jo chal raha hai, there are a lot of subplots at play because firstly about the SP Congress alliance, it didn't really work on the ground in 2017 when, if you remember that famous slogan, UP ke ladke, about Akhilesh Yadav and Rahul Gandhi. UP ke ladke Modi ji ko takkar denge. That was the slogan popularized by one particular journalist a lot. So, UP is a state where BJP has more than just the Hindutva card. BJP has played its caste combination very well. They've got the non-Dalit, non-Jatav Dalits. They've got the non-Yadav OBCs and a few Yadav OBCs now. And of course, they have the so-called general caste or the upper caste. So, with these three combinations, it's very difficult for anyone to defeat the BJP. And in areas where Muslims are around 30 to, 45, 50%, the Hindu votes are completely consolidating. That's what happened in Muzaffarnagar and, in certain assembly seats like Haryana. So, you have a situation where no matter what you try, if all the parties come together, it's very tough to defeat the BJP. And about your question about BSP, I think, we discussed at the start, right? BSP is symptomatic of all these so-called caste parties, which are not doing well because they have a dynastical leadership. You had Mayawati, before that you had Kanchiram. Then, of course, his mentor Mayawati was the leader. Now you have her nephew, who is, set to be the new leader. And it looks like the cadres are not happy. Many of them are joining the BJP. Some are, like Chandrasekhar Azad is kind of also, emerging, who's different from, the so-called BSP symbol. So it's not looking good for her long term. I think now they need somebody young, energetic, like I'm not trying to endorse Chandrasekhar Azad, but a face like him who is, who's something new, even though he's a bit crass as a politician. So that is what they need in UP. Unless the opposition finds an issue, this cow grazing issue was an issue which, kind of people are talking about, but that's not that big an issue. You need to find that one issue which can, really galvanize the remaining non-BJP votes. Assuming BJP has, let's say, a base of 42, 43% in UP, the remaining, 50, 57 odd percent, that has to be galvanized by one party. And I think that is what the opposition is finding it very tough.
And the BJP itself has been very nimble in terms of making these alliances, right? Because there was a sense of feeling that in Western UP, the Jat vote may or may not consolidate, but they quickly improvised and got RLD into the equation, and they kind of insulated themselves from that. So that is definitely something that they've done proactively. But other than that, do you see anything drastically change? Also, having these smaller parties like Apna Dal, SBSP, is this a new strategy that BJP is adopting, which is to take allies which are bit players with small pockets of influence, but not necessarily allies which are slightly stronger and larger in size? Do you think this is a conscious strategy that they are adopting?
Completely. I think they have tried that in a lot of pockets. In Karnataka, JDS is a similar party which is of the Vokaligas, and especially in South Karnataka, the Mysore region. In Assam, you have pockets of AGP, with the BJP. You have a Bodo party, UPPL, with the BJP. And in UP, the Nishad party is also there, which is a party of the Nishad community. Another, OBC community. You have the Apna Dal of the Kurmis, Anupriya Patel. You have now, as you said, RLD, Jayan Chaudhary of the Jats. So they are doing that across the board. SBSP, the Suhail Dev, the party which is again of the Rajbars, another Dalit community. So BJP have mastered it. They are taking these small parties, giving them 1 seat, 2 seats, sometimes a bit more, state by state, looking at their strength and adding to the votes. Because I think at some level, Modi ji also wants BJP to get 50% vote share this time in the Lok Sabha. We'll discuss about whether that's possible or not. But at some level, he wants that. And he wants the NDA to, reach a 50% mark as well in state after state, and especially in the center. So that'll be interesting, but BJP is doing this game very smartly, and the opposition is not able to counter that. Like I said, if the opposition wants to counter the BJP, they have to find that one issue and really go to the masses. Right now, Rahul Gandhi is taking his Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra, talking about, Adani or Mudani. He's talking about unemployment, about dictatorship. There's no clear agenda. If he has one agenda and takes it forward, they have a chance.
Wouldn't that agenda be to remove Modi? Would that not be an agenda that will galvanize them?
Is that enough? Is that enough is the question. I mean, is the average person, the average Hindu especially, whose votes you need to come to power, is an average poor Hindu, a lower middle class or poor Hindu going to be, galvanized, inspired to vote for Rahul Gandhi or Congress because of that? I'm not so sure. They will need to find that one agenda. In 98, if you remember, the BJP lost the government in Delhi because of onion prices. Congress made that into a good issue. Yeah. So something like that, I mean, that's a very localized issue, but they need something to take to the national consensus. Without that, it's very difficult to dislodge the BJP.
Okay, so coming to the neighboring state of Bihar, 40 seats, you have the RJD Congress alliance, and on the other side you have JDU, BJP, Chirag Paswan, Jitin Rao Manji, Kushwaha, all of them again, together. So, I mean, the Bihar strategy really completely puzzles me, because there was a lot of people, even the BJP Karyakartas and generally people, felt that the BJP's time in Bihar had come. And because the BJP's tally has maxed out in so many North Indian states,
exactly,
Bihar was the place where they actually had the opportunity to increase their number of seats.
Precisely.
But by contesting fewer than half, they are cutting themselves out. Why would they do that?
It's again a $1 million question. I mean, Bihar was one state. I mean, every Bihari I spoke to, everybody who has some understanding of Bihar politics, said that Nitish is very unpopular. Tejasvi is actually rising, in some pockets, especially his Yadav Muslim base, MY base. By the way, Nitish is extremely unpopular. And the longer Nitish remains in this, I.N.D.I.A. alliance, the longer, the stronger chances of BJP has with, Chirag Paswan and, the other parties, right? You have JDU, of course, Chirag, you have Manji, Kushwaha.
Yeah.
All these are caste, Kushwaha, Manji, etc. Yeah. Manji is a Dalit face now, a Dalit face now. So it's very puzzling, because it made sense for BJP to contest from 17 last time they won to at least 2022, at least. So why they have done this, it's extremely puzzling. The conspiracy theory here is that Modi ji sent Nitish to the other side to get all the information and to dislodge their thinking, and he came back. I mean, that is optically that might help, especially from a national level perspective, because even in places like Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu in the east, people were discussing about it. As in regional channels were discussing about how Nitish has left the India alliance and joined BJP. So इतना बड़ी खबर है बीजेपी के लिए, कांग्रेस के लिए तो बुरी खबर है. That sort of a thing. The narrative was there, but locally speaking, it didn't make any sense. And I think they might have an equation, because they also say that if you look at the Kurmi vote of Nitish and bit of the Mahadalit vote of Nitish, both with Manji when he was there and without Manji, and you take the BJP's OBC vote, the Savarna vote, it is enough to, I mean, it's an unbeatable alliance. And you take Chirag Paswan's, Dalit base as well, Paswan base. It's a very difficult alliance to defeat. So that is one part of it, that with this alliance, it's impossible to defeat the NDA. That is what people say. I'm not so sure, especially in state elections. But it is puzzling. I mean, BJP strategy, out of all these states, the one state where it's puzzling is Bihar. Because I don't understand, out of 40 seats, if you just contest 17, I mean, how is it helping when you have a good base, when you can grow?
Actually, there is a palpable sense of nervousness, because to give away seats like that actually puts yourself in a difficult situation, because where will you make up those seats that you may have? The best case scenario is you retain all the seats. The possible case scenario is you will lose a few because you've maxed out, right? So this was an easier place to increase. Now, the other way is that the 2015 elections where Nitish was with the other camp, the ghost of that looms large.
Correct.
But this is an area that I really did not, and also to me, it feels like because there is anti-incumbency against Nitish, in seats where Nitish's party is going head to head against RJD, will the votes actually accrue to the NDA?
So that is the thing, right? In Bihar, Chirag Paswan has a charisma, or at least he seems to have a charisma. He's a young leader.
Yeah.
Indian standards, he's a very young leader. And there is a personality there. So Chirag plus BJP, they are set to win every single seat. So why JDU, which has unpopular MPs, where their main leader Nitish Kumar is unpopular in Bihar, why they are allying is a question. But the 2015 case is a very good example, because if you look at it, Vineet, since Modi ji and Amit Shah have, been on the scene, right, from the 80s as BJP general secretaries in Gujarat, taking the party to power in 95, I think when, Keshubhai Patel was the chief minister, then of course, retaining the power in 99, and then 2001 happened when he became the CM. If you look at it, they have won almost every single election till Bihar, except Delhi. 2015 Delhi, of course, they had kind of lost that to Kejriwal. But till the Bihar election, in a big state, they had never lost an election. So Bihar 2015 was the first state when the BJP was confident. A lot of the opinion surveys gave it to BJP, but Lalu and Nitish together, they changed the game towards the end of their campaign. So I think that probably does play a part in in Modi ji's thinking, that we don't want to risk it here, because this is Lok Sabha. This is where we come to power in the center. And like I said in the beginning, right, BJP might have a trick up their sleeve after the election. I feel, and this is a bit of a outranker prediction, that BJP might tell their small allies that if you want to join the cabinet, you have to merge your party. That is something that to think about. I think that could happen, and then you could have even long-term Nitish Kumar and the smaller parties like Kushwaha, Manji and all, who eventually will have to join the BJP. Well, I'm talking like either immediately or 5-6 years down the line.
So
that is something.
Sam Dam Dand Ved against not just opposition but allies also.
No, the duo in the center want to win every single election there is to win. There is no doubt about it. Every single election is a battle to be won. So yeah,
this is like a mean election fighting machine. Like
the one state, incidentally, which they haven't won is Bihar. Where you don't have a BJP CM, chief minister, is Bihar. You won UP, you won Chhattisgarh, you won MP, you won Uttarakhand, Himachal, Karnataka, Telangana. They were, of course, not Telangana, but Andhra, they were
in the northern belt.
Yeah.
In fact, Bihar seems like such a ready state, like in terms of demography, in terms of the cultural consciousness. It seems like such a BJP state. And yet it has never had a BJP-led government.
So that might be a question mark because Bihar has a lot of, caste factor, which is there in other states, but maybe it's a bit more in Bihar. So that is where the BJP finds it a bit tough. But logically, I mean, if I was a political analyst and advising the BJP, I would definitely say that BJP should try to get its CM, its chief minister in Bihar in 2025. I mean, it doesn't make any sense for this arrangement to continue where you have a Nitish or, some other personality from JDU as CM. It doesn't make any sense.
Do you see that alliance hold till the state elections?
I think so. I think this time, I don't think Nitish Kumar has much. He might flirt with the opposition, but I don't think you just think about it. Here's a man who has changed parties around 10, 15 times.
Why can't he do it again?
I don't think with BJP seemingly getting majority again, bigger numbers than 2019, and in power in so many states, trying to, do so many bills, I don't think he will have the... everyone's getting old, right? You're not as young as we were 10 years back. So your scope for fighting as well comes down. I don't think Nitish will change ship again.
Okay. So, also Jharkhand, the Sorens were Soren was put into jail. So that has... And plus... Koda has joined the BJP as well, right?
Yeah.
So that one seat which usually that BJP would not be able to win, now that is also going in. So
Jharkhand has 14 states.
14 seats.
14 seats. Out of which, usually BJP win 12, at least 12 in the Lok Sabha. This time, my prediction is BJP will win 14 out of 14. And this again goes to show how brilliant BJP's electoral machine is. 12 seats is pretty much confirmed. Now, BJP and a lot of parties had accused, the Koda family of corruption, right? And now Geeta Koda, who's an MP from a region there, she has been got into the BJP. So, the opposition will cry corruption, whatnot, but she has a very good chance to win that seat. So, BJP is now winning 14 out of 14 with one seat going to their election ally, their small ally, which is the AJSU. The one students
all Jharkhand
students unit. So that seat is going to the ally, and BJP will win 13 out of 13. This is again goes to show how brilliant BJP's electoral machine is. They are doing the politics of conviction, of Modi ji ki guarantee where it matters, and of course talking about Ram Mandir and Article 370, but they are also getting defectors from the Congress and the opposition to their fold, who have a base in that constituency and who can win. This is how BJP wins.
I would question that, because when you're getting someone, whom you have accused for corruption, what if that person comes in? Isn't your conviction and your principle also kind of going to get weakened because of that? Maybe you will win that seat, but your clean image gets affected because of that, right?
Just 4 words: Sam Dam Dand Bhed. That's all. Because
yes, you will.
It is a factor, the conviction and getting so-called, I can't say corrupt leaders, but leaders who have allegations of corruption. Geeta Koda does not have any corruption conviction.
Yeah.
People in her family might have, but this is a case of trying to win every seat. If you are talking about 370, which the PM talked about in Parliament, and Abki Baar 400 par, 400 seats, it's not a small number. To get this, you need your allies to win, as many as possible. You need to win as many as possible. And you need to win in places where you have never won. And I think this Geeta Koda seat is one such place. I don't think BJP has ever won that seat.
They've not.
So,
correct.
There you go.
So, going to Himachal Pradesh, a hill state, and Mandi seat is where Kangana Ranaut is standing for election. She's definitely a rabble-rouser even before she joined politics, and I happen to share my birthday with her.
Happy birthday in advance.
No, it's over, but yeah, for next year.
In advance for next year.
But so where do you see that seat going?
So, Mandi is a very interesting constituency. The Veerbhadra family, of course, are the Rajas, or the so-called, Rajas of Himachal. And they are strong in Shimla. So, Shimla is the area in every state election where the Veerbhadra family and the Congress do very well because of that family. So, now the news we have, it's not officially confirmed, but almost confirmed, is that Vikramaditya Singh, the son of Veerbhadra and the son of Pratibha Singh, who wanted to be chief minister, he will take on Kangana and Mandi. Now, Mandi is a constituency, the stronghold of Jairam Thakur. That belt is his stronghold of the BJP, who was the former chief minister. So, Jairam Thakur has a very good, equation there. He won most of his state assembly seats in Mandi. So Vikramaditya Singh, I think, has been sent on a punishment posting, honestly, by the Congress, because he was, part of the group which rebelled against the current CM, Sukhinder Sikhu, who Priyanka Gandhi wanted as the CM. So I think this is a kind of a punishment posting. And if he had contested from Shimla, he had a good chance of winning. Mandi, unless Kangana makes some, gaffes or some blunders, which, I wouldn't put it beyond her. If she does, then she is in a spot of bother. Otherwise, if she plays to the script and says what she has to say, what any Neta would say, I think she'll win comfortably.
Okay. What about Uttarakhand?
Uttarakhand, again, I think BJP, in a national election, BJP should win all 5. I am not sure about Dhami's popularity. Some people say he's very popular. On the other hand, he lost his election, and he had to be reinstated after the election. I'm not sure how popular he is, but he's definitely more popular than, Trivendra Singh Rawat and the former CMs. So BJP will need to either groom, the current CM, Pushkar Dhami, as the face for the next 10 odd years. But Lok Sabha, it's about Modi ji. So if Modi ji is a face, I mean, it's very difficult to dislodge him. So I think both Himachal's 4 seats and Uttarakhand's 5 seats, BJP should win all 9.
What about J&K, the 3 seats where NC and Congress each are doing, Congress is going for Jammu and Ladakh, and
Correct.
NC is going for all the 3 seats in Kashmir. So PDP, Mehbooba Mufti remains separate.
No, so I think J&K mein kya ho raha hai? J&K has Jammu seat, which is obviously a BJP stronghold.
Correct.
Udhampur is where the Hindu population is nowhere as high as Jammu. There could be a contest there. I don't know. I think Jitendra Singh might be contesting from there. It could be somebody else. So that is a seat where BJP will have to work on the ground. So these 2 seats are where, they have a good chance. In terms of Srinagar, I think the Kashmir-based seats, I think you have Srinagar and one more.
Anantnag and Baramulla.
Yeah, and Baramulla. Baramulla, of course, I mean, I can't see BJP coming anywhere close. It has to be either that the new front cropped up by, BJP, which is kind of their B team, you can say. I've heard in Srinagar you have Ghulam Nabi Azad contesting either that seat or the another seat, taking on one of the Abdullahs. So Ghulam Nabi Azad, of course, now is kind of, people see him as a B team or, a friend of Prime Minister Modi. And Ladakh, again, it will be a tough seat for them. In fact, this is a seat where Congress can win, because Ladakh mein kya ho raha hai? We know about the protest by Sonam Wangchu, the so-called climate activist. The jury is out on him. But you have a big Shia population, Shia Muslim population. You have a bit of, Sunni Muslim as well. And you have a big Buddhist population. How happy are the people after Article 370? It remains to be seen. I mean, initially I thought people were very happy, which they said they were. But I think there might be some issues on the ground, local issues, which they have to take care of. So J&K, incidentally, I mean, out of the, very small tally I've given Congress nationally, they could win, Congress, if they played smart, they could win 1 or 2. And of course, NC could win their traditional seat as well.
Okay. And Punjab, because, with the crackdown on the Aam Aadmi Party, in fact, I personally see Delhi to still be kind of safe, but Punjab is the place where I think the sympathy factor will play a big role. Although there has been a huge exodus of the Congress leadership, the ex-Congress leadership, lock, stock, barrel to BJP.
Correct.
So now they actually have good candidates for many seats, which they never got. They only contested 3, right?
Huh.
So while the candidate list is much more illustrious, with the sympathy wave, do you really see them doing much in Punjab?
So I'll give you an early prediction, Vineet. I see the BJP's biggest vote share increase, not votes increase, seats increase, vote share increase, would be Punjab and Tamil Nadu. Which will be more will depend on, how many seats or how well BJP does in their own seats. Even if you can take the N.D.A, probably would be Tamil Nadu, because N.D.A is a formidable force in Tamil Nadu. But Punjab, if you look at BJP alone, they might be the vote share increase would be the highest arguably in Punjab, along with Tamil Nadu. That is the kind of swell on the ground I'm hearing. And I have quite a few, wonderful Punjabi friends, both Hindus and Sikhs. And they mentioned after what happened in the farm laws and, the Khalistani issue, coming up again, Modi ji has very sensibly, much to the anger of its own supporters, taken back the farm law because it was getting, international attention. The Jats, both the Jat Sikhs and the Hindu Jats, some of them felt that, this was not in our interest. Propaganda had reached a level where, the farmers kind of believe their propaganda that it's not under our interest. So that was taken back sensibly. And now BJP have got, sensible leaders who are not polarizing on the ground. Like, the Beyond Singh's grandson, you can help me with his name. Beyond Singh's grandson who joined Ravneet Bittu, who joined the BJP. He's strong, in his area. And he's probably, contested win again in, I think it's Ludhiana. And people like him, who kind of, of course, anti-Khalistani, but they keep the Hindus and the Sikhs together. In Punjab, why Congress did well even after 84 was because they had a very strong Hindu base, which countered the Akalis, the Sikh this thing. While BJP, people say it was a Hindu, Sikh alliance, BJP didn't really do well as a junior partner to the Akalis. Akalis, held the fort. Now, finally, BJP is there and a lot of leaders are shifting. Both AAP, the only AAP Lok Sabha MP, Rinku, is shifted. And of course, a lot of, Congress MPs. So I think, I don't know how well the AAP will do. I mean, sympathy factor, frankly, Kejriwal is not a big issue in Punjab. I wouldn't say so.
Really?
Among the Hindu voters, maybe. I think he's a bigger issue in Delhi because Delhi is where he's a CM. People see him, people identify with Kejriwal. Hamare banda hai. Yeah, sab mile hue ji, and all these kind of lines that he keeps saying. In Punjab, he's not a Sikh. He's not a Pagdiwala. So that plays a big part. And Bhagwant Mann, incidentally, has developed a very good support base for himself. And, as an AAP government, although people were joking on him, calling Harvard as Hayward, and the drink company and whatnot, he has actually held his fort well. And I think due to the broad image of AAP, they haven't taken a very pro-Khalistani line as some people feared. In the Punjab government, they went after Amritpal, along, of course, with the centre. And they did what they had to do to kind of preserve the social order of Punjab, but to their credit. So I think AAP might do well, but I think BJP could be the surprise factor. I know this, for the benefit of viewers, it might sound as though this is like a fanboy or, we are being too, praising the BJP too much. We have criticized them in Bihar. But honestly, I mean, I have to say the facts, right? You're asking me a question, I have to say the facts. Punjab mein BJP have, taken off the baggage of Akalis. Akalis are known for corruption, for nepotism, for, failing to deliver on many of their promises during those 10 years in power from 2007 to 17. So now we need a new change and people are looking for new leadership. So this is where, we really want, I think people want BJP to kind of do much better in terms of both vote share and, of course, seats as well.
So in Punjab, I can Gurdaspur, Hoshiarpur, Ludhiana, Jalandhar, right? I see these 4 seats. Do you see any, and also Patiala. So this is 5 seats. Would 5 be a number that you can see for them?
So yeah, BJP is contesting all 13, as we know. So Gurdaspur is, of course, can you remind me who's contesting Gurdaspur? Gurdaspur is, earlier it was, of course, Vinod Khanna's, bastion. Now I think it is, a local leader. I forgot his name, but he's been around for a long time. Then Amritsar is, of course, a former IAFS officer, Taranjit Singh Sandhu, who comes from a very illustrious family, but I don't think he has a chance.
I don't see them winning Amritsar.
It's difficult because it has a huge Sikh population now after delimitation. And in some areas where he went, rural areas, Sikh areas, he was asked not to come. So you get the message. But Patiala, because of captain's, image, even if he comes on 1 or 2 rallies, he takes, that sympathy factor could play. Hoshiarpur, Gurdaspur, these are 2 seats where significant Hindu population is there, and it has a very nationalistic, the flavor as well, because it's very close to Pakistan.
Yeah.
Things like Balakot and, happened in the nearby area. So it has a very strong nationalistic element. So these 2 states, I think BJP has a very good chance. Ludhiana, of course, is Bittu. Then Jalandhar, I don't...
It has a high Hindu population.
Jalandhar, I'm not sure if the candidate has been declared. Has it? It could be declared. Jalandhar, there's a chance. But I would say Gurdaspur, Hoshiarpur and
Patiala.
Ludhiana, these are the 3 where BJP has the strongest chances. Patiala, maybe outside shout in Amritsar. Then
Rinku is...
there are so many constituencies, I'm losing track of it. But Rinku could be the Jalandhar candidate. I think he could be the Jalandhar candidate because I think he's a scheduled caste. So, yeah, Jalandhar, Ludhiana, these are the outside shouts. But Hoshiarpur, Gurdaspur are the main shouts. Patiala, they have a chance. And you never know. If AAP does not galvanize a Sikh vote, if the Sardars won't vote for AAP at full drawn, then BJP has a very good chance, because the Hindus of Punjab, I'm pretty sure, have realized that, BJP is in their best interests, and they have a good chance now in Punjab.
Personally see why they would not galvanize around AAP, because the Congress, like if you are to say that the Congress stands a little discredited, then their natural option automatically becomes AAP.
Correct.
Unless Akali Dal was to revive itself, for which as of now there is really not much evidence, right? So,
And there's a very interesting part here. You're right. I agree with you. I mean, I think Congress, AAP might do well in Punjab, but a very interesting subplot here. AAP is basically two states, Delhi and Punjab. Delhi, they're expected to get zero. We'll come to that, right? With Kejriwal as the leader. In Punjab, with Bhagwant Mann as a leader, they're expected to do well. So after the election, if you do a summary, AAP will probably do well in the area where Bhagwant Mann is a face, and they'll do badly in the area where Kejriwal is a face. So that is something which will set a lot of tongues wagging.
do you see some rival power centers emerging in AAP, because the top
100%.
leadership is now in jail, plus there is Punjab lobby which will start growing, right? So
100%. 100%. I think, we'll see what Sanjay Singh does now. He is, the theory doing the rounds is that he might be, left off with BJP's blessings. That is a theory doing the rounds. I don't know if it's true or not. And in AAP, Bhagwant Singh is now clearly the leader of AAP in Punjab. And if Bhagwant Singh wants to change and form his own party, the way Captain formed his own party, who's to say why not? It will have BJP's blessings. It will probably have Congress's blessings also.
Really?
And it will have AAP's blessings. So, why not?
okay, I mean,
When I say Congress, I mean the sensible part of the INC.
okay.
So Bhagwant Singh could be a big player in the years to come. A big player.
Because the situation is such that the Delhi chief minister, let's say even if Kejriwal was around, right, has lesser powers because it's a national capital territory. A lot of the activities are with the center as well.
Correct.
Versus Bhagwant Mann, who is a chief minister of a full state. So in terms of natural powers, he has more, right? So automatically Punjab becomes more important even from that perspective.
100%. It's a border state. Border is with Pakistan. And it is a state, which has a history of great nationalist, heroes, both Sikhs and Hindus. It is a state which, used to provide a lot of our soldiers in the army. A very patriotic, proud state with a Hindu-Sikh, population. I think 55-45 or thereabouts now. So it is a very, very important state. And Punjab, yes, Bhagwant Mann with with the police protection, with the law and order in his control, with a lot of government machinery, more than Delhi. It is a very, very important state. And I think if he is smart, and I think he is, contrary to some people, he is a smart man. I think he will have good relations with the BJP. It doesn't mean he will join the BJP or, ally with the BJP, but he'll have good relations with the party.
What about Navjot Sidhu?
Well, अभी आजकल वो IPL में है. If you watch the IPL on television, you will see him doing the Hindi commentary on the IPL. So Sidhu, I think he's very happy that BJP, his condition in 2017, and I think we've spoken, Vineet, about this, back in the day. 2017, the reason why Sidhu left the BJP was because of the Akali alliance. He made it very clear to the leadership, from what I understand, that, BJP has a great chance if we remove the alliance, or if we leave the alliance with Akali. Because Akalis were very, their perception wasn't good. BJP didn't do that for, I think, some social reasons. But, yes, Sidhu, I mean, I know some people look at him as a joker. Some people look at him as a maverick. He went and hugged, Bajwa, the former army chief and whatnot. But he does have support in Punjab. I don't think we can rule that out. So maybe in the state elections 2027, you might see Sidhu, putting on a Bhagwa Pagadi and,
Really?
As
of now,
doing what he has to do.
He's not made any noises of that nature directly, at least.
Yeah, but he has not spoken a word against the BJP recently. He has not said anything against, except the Akalis. He hasn't said anything against anyone.
Yeah, I mean,
neither Priyanka Gandhi, neither Rahul Gandhi, neither AAP.
Yeah.
Maybe AAP he has once or twice, but he has kept his options open between Congress and BJP.
Okay. And Haryana, the Jat versus the non-Jat factor. And I want to talk about this from a perspective that many people talk about the BJP being very supportive of the non-dominant castes or communities. And I have a theory for this. I don't think that the BJP is necessarily supporting the non-dominant castes against the dominant castes. I think because the BJP's agenda and the Sangh Parivar's agenda has socially as well, has been to break caste and, follow the Savarkarite ideology of kind of building a Sanatani identity and consciousness. The BJP finds it is a easier home for communities which are fragmented in numbers, because fragmented communities have an incentive to aggregate around larger identities, right? If you are 2, 3, 4%, you would need other communities and build broader social basis vis-a-vis one community which has 15, 20% of the population, because that community doesn't need anyone else, or could require maybe even a non-Hindu community person also to ally with them, and they can fly through, right? So for them, there is no incentive to join that bandwagon. So this is my theory. So I don't think that the BJP necessarily wants to do that, but the social coalition dynamics are such that it helps gravitate the non-dominant communities. And this is especially true in Haryana. So I want your take on that.
So there is a psephologist on X who is quite popular called Praveen Patil. So he had come up with this theory before 2014 Lok Sabha elections that what Prime Minister Modi and Amit Shah's strategy for the long term is USHV, United Spectrum of Hindu Votes. That is the strategy, where every Hindu community, whether it is a Brahmin, Thakur, Rajput, OBC, Dalit, the smaller section of Dalits like your Pasis, Paswans, whatnot, every Hindu caste, the Adivasis, in Northeast, in Chhattisgarh, everyone feels we are part of a Hindu identity. That is our identity. We don't care about what caste we have, what Gotra we have, what creed we have, what region we are from. So that is a long-term plan of the BJP. But I think both the leaders have realized, and even the state leaders have realized, that if you want to win, at least for 15, 20 years, you need to play the caste card as well, align with the caste parties or merge with the caste parties, and take them along. So now to answer your question specifically, we have to again go into history and find out, before Modi ji came to power in 2014, a lot of people would say that, hey, look at Hindus, you are such jokers, because you are 80% of the population. This was the narrative. You are 80% of the population, and you can't, Hindu party can't win India. You have a left of center, so-called anti-Hindu party winning. But how did they win? They won because in a particular geography, right? You take a geography of a state. You have the dominant caste. Let's say Haryana, for example. You have the Jats. The Jats might, exact figures, honestly, I'm not sure right now. But let's say the Jats constitute around 30%.
I think it's 20,
25, yeah. 30%. Let's say 30%. Now you get the entire mass bulk of the Jat vote, and then you get a little bit of the Muslims, little bit of the Dalits, or you get most of the Muslims, little bit of the Dalits. It comes up to around 20%, assuming you get 80% of Jat votes, 20% plus, let's say 5% of Muslims, plus 5% of Dalits. So it comes up 30% vote. Now, if you have 30% and then you have your candidate votes, let's say around 2%, 3%, 33%, 35%, right? 35% votes are enough to win a seat. At least it used to be. So what the BJP has done now is it has got a lot of the the Hindus, both the non-Jats and the Jats, the non-dominant and the dominant communities with them, a lot more than they used to. The local candidate who is of that caste of that particular seat would have joined the BJP. Like, your Geeta Koda, the perfect example. And that would be enough for the BJP to get around 40-45%. So this is how BJP had dislodged the old way of things. Because the Congress and the regional parties, you take SAPA, you take JDS, you take any party, you take NCP here, in let's say in Western Maharashtra, Sharad Pawar would have either a Kunbi Maratha or a non-Kunbi Maratha. He would have some of the, whatever Muslims are there, not too many, but whatever Muslims are there. Plus you will have the Dalits. Plus you will have, the so-called Prakash Ambedkar's, BBA, that vote base with them. He would get around 35% vote share, or maybe even 40% and win that seat. That is how these people would win a seat. Now with post-2014, a lot of the Hindu voters are gravitating towards BJP. That is the only difference. If there is no incremental value addition for a Modi-led BJP, then this old formula of Sharad Pawar, of Akhilesh Yadav, of Bhupender Singh Hooda in Haryana, that can work. But that is only if Hindus do not consolidate behind, at least 50% of Hindus don't consolidate behind the BJP. That is how this equation works.
So that's what in Haryana, what they've done is that while Dushyant Chautala was with them in the government, when they are contesting the polls, they are not in alliance. My point is, if that is the case, then with the BJP fighting this election with two Jat party, because Congress now under Hooda is a Jat-based party.
Correct.
And even Chautalas are a Jat party.
All three are Jats. Both Dushyant Singh Chautala's party is a Jat, Chautala's I.N.D.I.A is a Jat, and Congress is broadly a Jat party.
You can say that I.N.D.I.A is pretty much, it's a minuscule party now. But Chautala and Congress, both are fighting for a Jat base.
Correct.
So I see some challenge in the seats of Sirsa, Hisar and Rohtak. So many people are saying it will be 9-1, 8-2. I feel it could be 7-3. But yeah.
I think assembly elections right now, Congress seems to be in the lead because, Hooda, whether you like it or not, the Hooda family has credibility. They are seen as popular, not just among the Jats, even among the, section of Dalits and the non-Jats. But Lok Sabha, honestly, I don't see much problem. Only problem seat is Rohtak, where that is Bhupender Singh Hooda's home seat. So if his son contests, Dipender Hooda contests the election, he has a good chance because it's a Jat-dominated seat. Otherwise, BJP has the OBC, like the new CM is a Saini, he's an OBC. You have the Brahmin, Vaishya vote anyway coming to you. Ashok Tanwar, who joined from Congress and from AAP right now, he's a Dalit who is contesting a Lok Sabha seat. So BJP is trying to get enough of Dalits, Jats, of course, non-Jats a lot, OBCs, the Savarnas, everyone coming together. Vineet, I really hope when we talk about 2029, we will stop talking about, we will have a pan-Hindu identity. And while we are very proud, and we should be proud of our Gotras, of, our Jati Varna that we are, we belong to, our Kul Devis are important. We don't look at politics from, Brahmin, Thakur, Vaishya, Dalit lens. We look at it from, Hindu lens. That would improve our polity a lot.
I mean, one aspect is, of course, why do we have to talk about these sub-identities? Because, of course, the crux of this discussion is that these are the factors that are there as is. So one is that we are actually analyzing what it is for what it is without making a value judgment. But of course, there is that endeavor, that hope that we don't go into this in the future, that people, especially with youngsters, getting into politics, younger first-time voters, becoming a factor in these elections. Hopefully these ideas go down, from the larger political discourse as well, because politicians, they respond to popular culture. What is happening around them, they act based on that. If people start looking at issues rather than communal identities necessarily, then I think politicians would have an incentive to change.
Will that happen is a big question.
Because it's not a question of we as people who are interested in analyzing elections, or for that matter, even for politicians, because till the time people don't change their mindset, there's no incentive to change it otherwise.
It's a longer topic, but, someday we can discuss about Prashant Kishore, what he's doing in Bihar. And whatever I've heard on the ground, it's very interesting. He is perpetuating the same caste politics, actually speaking.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, that is what I'm hearing. Like in a village, when he goes to a village, let's say in Bihar, let's say Champaran, let's say, any village, let's say Patna, somewhere in the outskirts of Patna.
Yeah.
The leader that he's propagating in that village is that leader of the biggest caste there. That is very important. Like if it is a Muslim majority village, the leader of that village of Prashant Kishore's party, Jan Swaraj party, has to be a Muslim. If the village is Brahmin dominated, the leader has to be a Brahmin. So how Prashant, even someone like Prashant Kishore who says, the way Kejriwal used to say, मैं राजनीति को बदलने आया हूँ. बदल नहीं रहा है बस.
In fact, I really like Arif Mohammad Khan's view that
आपको सोचना पड़ेगा कि बदल हो, मतलब राजनीति बदल रहा है कि नहीं, वो आपको सोचना पड़ेगा.
मतलब Arif Mohammad Khan has always said this, that a Muslim Lok Sabha member is not just a representative of the Muslim voter.
Correct.
He's a representative of all voters. 100%. So we should see it that way, right?
100%.
But that's easier said than done. So talking about Haryana, you think they will sweep all 10?
I think 9 out of 10 for sure. Rohtak is the only seat where BJP could have a problem.
Okay.
I think Lok Sabha, because of Modi ji's personality and the way things work. It's on a personality election, so I don't think BJP has a problem. Entire northern belt except Punjab, even Punjab where they will do much better than they used to, except Punjab and Kashmir, the Kashmir Valley, and I don't see a problem for BJP. Even Bihar, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, correct. For at least for BJP.
Yeah.
But moving further down, going to Rajasthan, 25 seats, bipolar contest.
Correct.
And we've been hearing about this new leader Bhatti, who is not on either side, is an independent. So he's been getting a lot of crowds even outside Rajasthan, apparently.
Yes.
What's the phenomenon of Mr. Bhatti?
Yeah, it's a caste leader. He's a Rajput leader. He's talking about certain Kisan issues and whatnot, but he's raking up a lot of caste divisions, which you expect Congress-leaning, or independent people to do. He was a BJP MLA during this Rajasthan elections, and he became an MLA. He's a young leader, popular leader, whom probably the BJP should have, given him, a bigger, something bigger to do than what they did. But now, having contesting as independent, he's getting good crowds. Whether those crowds will translate into a win is a different matter. But interestingly, in that seat, Congress is also contesting hard. Now, whether they will transfer their votes to Bhatti to help him win, we don't know. And the other side is that even if Bhatti wins, he might join the BJP after he wins as independent. So that is also a possibility. He's not a Congress contestant right now. But yeah, this caste card is being played, and as you said, he's coming to Mumbai, he's going to Bengaluru, he's going to I think MP. He is addressing a lot of these sabhas, a lot of these Rajput sabhas, a lot of the Kshatriya sabhas. So he's getting some traction there. I don't think it will be enough for him to win. I think BJP will win that seat, the Barmer seat, but it will be a tight contest. That is the only seat I think where BJP will have a bit of a trouble. But on this note, again, it goes to show if Congress gives the local leader some amount of authority, how well they'll do. Like they've given leadership to Gehlot even now, despite Sachin Pilot making noises. And you can see Gehlot is a capable man, whether you like him or not. He's a capable leader who has won 2 or 3 elections, and become CM thrice. So he's a capable man.
Yeah, and Gujarat, the home turf of the leadership. So they're going to sweep all 26. Aam Aadmi Party has also gotten a seat, right?
So this is where Ahmed Patel's daughter was very upset. She did a lot of work through her NGO there, Mumtaz Patel. She wanted to contest Bharuch. Bharuch, incidentally, is a seat where there's a big Muslim population. So, BJP should win that easily, irrespective, even if both, both are coming together right now. But they would win, but I think she has a base there. She and her brother, the children of Ahmed Patel, they have a base in Bharuch. So she was very upset that, the seat went to AAP. But they say it could also be the Congress leadership strategy to kind of downsize them as well. So, leaving that aside, I think Gujarat may possible nahi hai, namumkin. For the opposition to win Gujarat, any seat in Gujarat is very tough. Very, very tough.
Do you see the Aam Aadmi Party expanding its footprint outside Delhi or Punjab anywhere?
So that is what was happening. That's an interesting thing, because in Gujarat elections, although BJP won a huge victory, BJP did pretty well. Aam Aadmi Party did quite well in the state elections. They didn't do that badly as people thought. Maybe 5%. They won more than 10%, I believe, if I'm not wrong. So that is not a bad number. So Kejriwal was growing, and that is probably why the leadership, Modi and Amit Shah, didn't want Kejriwal and AAP to grow in more than 2 states, which is why, part of the reason why whatever happened has happened. Now it is very difficult. If Kejriwal spends 1 or 2 years in jail, it is very difficult for that party to remain as united as it is right. You need a leader, and Kejriwal, whether you like it or not, whether people like it or not, he's a leader. He's a mass leader in Delhi at least.
Absolutely. I think he is a mass leader. He can pull crowds, and also I think, and this is again a theory, that I think the manner in which the center-left politics in this country will evolve, we are moving to a future, because the Overton window has shifted so much, that a very viable center-left alternative will be actually a pro-Hindu one in the future. And I think Aam Aadmi Party was going in that direction, So I think they were making the right moves in that sense.
See, honestly speaking,